Yep, home prices in Phoenix went up over $150,000 in just 5 years. So if you're sitting there thinking, how does anyone afford to buy a home right now? You're not wrong, and you're definitely not alone. In March 2020, the median home price in Phoenix was $304,500. Today, it's $460,000. But here's where things get a little tricky. Your lender will happily say you're approved for $500,000. And suddenly you're out touring homes in Gilbert like you're on HGTV. But hold up, because while that mortgage payment might look fine on paper, it doesn't include the real cost of living here, like HOA fees, water bills, or running your AC when it's 115 degrees in July. So let's break down what you can actually afford in Phoenix without living off of ramen and praying your AC survives July. So there are two numbers that you need to understand: the number a lender will qualify you for and the number you can actually afford without crying every time your AC unit breaks. Here's the deal. Lenders love using your gross income to qualify you. You know, that magical number before taxes, bills, and your target runs. They'll approve you for a payment that could be 45% of your income. FHA loans can go as high as 56% for some buyers. Do not do that. Sounds generous, right? But here's the problem. That number has nothing to do with your real life. They're not thinking about your brunch budget, those surprise SRP bills, or the fact that life costs a lot of money right now. That's why I tell my buyers, just because you're approved for it doesn't mean you should spend it. So let's shift the focus from what you qualify for to what you can afford and still live your life. Try sticking to a safer rule, like keeping your total housing costs around 30% of what actually hits your bank account. Let's pause for a sec and break down what a $460,000 home, aka the median price in Phoenix, actually costs you each month. Because, spoiler, that online mortgage calculator showing $2,900 payment a month, yeah, it's lying by omission. Here's what you're really paying if you're a first-time home buyer using, say, FHA loan with 3.5% down, and today's interest rate, as of the time of making this video, is 6.875% rate. So you have your purchase price of $460,000, your down payment around 3.5%, so that's about $16,100. So your loan amount is going to be $443,900 roughly. Your interest rate, if you do an FHA with a 620 credit score, you're around that 6.875% with a 30-year fixed mortgage. So your monthly breakdown looks like principal and interest. This is around $2,920. Then you have your property taxes. Here in Maricopa County, the median is about 0.52%, so much lower than other places, but that's what the rate is. So you're looking at about $200 for property taxes per month. Then you have homeowners insurance. This is about $135 per month. Then you have FHA mortgage insurance. This is about $312 a month. Then let's say you're living in an HOA. This is, again, an average. You're about $125 is usually what I'm seeing. Then you have your electric bills averaged across the year. You're about $169. But let's be honest, it's going to be much more in the summertime, but this is average across the year. Then you have water, sewer, trash, which is about $90 for a grand total monthly cost around $3,951 a month on a good month. This doesn't include your internet, which is crazy expensive, maintenance and repairs, the inevitable target runs when you move in to furnish your house. So if you were thinking, oh, I can handle a $2,900 mortgage payment, remember, it's never just the mortgage. This is exactly how buyers end up feeling blindsided after closing, and why budgeting for the full picture should be a non-negotiable. So why do so many first-time buyers feel blindsided? Because they focus on the mortgage and forget the rest of the monthly puzzle. If you take nothing else from this video, please remember your mortgage is just the start. Make sure that you're budgeting for taxes, insurance, HOA, because this This is Phoenix, and we love an HOA apparently. Utilities because AC isn't optional here. Repairs because being a homeowner equals unexpected expenses. If the numbers aren't working, go ahead and look further out. Hey, wink, wink, and surprise aren't so bad. Or check out new construction deals with lower rates and closing cost perks that can help you get back into the number range that you might feel more comfortable with. If you don't want to end up house poor, go ahead and grab my free Don't Be House Poor workbook below. It includes a real budget calculator and questions to ask yourself to figure out what you can comfortably afford. Seriously, don't guess your budget. This workbook will save you from future stress, I promise you. All right, let's talk reality versus lender fantasy. Here's what you can actually afford in Phoenix without living off instant noodles and what the lender will tempt you with potentially. So the goal here is just to kind of see the differences and hopefully give you some insights into kind of the dramatic changes that you might see. Let's say you make $70,000 a year. Gross, that's about $5,800 a month. You're gonna net about $4,300 a month. So 30% of your net is $1,300 a month, which means you can realistically afford a $200,000 to $225,000 home, which means you might need to get creative with locations or strategy. Now, what are you approved for? Around $2,600 a month, which, unless you've mastered zero debt minimalism, is a fast track to being house poor. Now let's bump up your income to $100,000 a year. Gross, you're at about $8,300 a month. So you're netting about $6,200 a month. 30% of your net, that we've talked about magic number, is about $1,875 a month. So you're looking at around a $300,000 to $325,000 home. Not quite that median price yet, but you may be able to find a condo or a home on the outskirts. What you're approved for, probably $3,600 a month. But unless you enjoy stressing over every Amazon order, stay far below that. All right, now let's say that there's two of you and you make a combined income of $130,000 a year. So you're grossing about $10,800 a month. You're going to be netting about $8,100 a month. So 30% of your net is about $2,400 a month. That gets you into that $400 to $425 home, but still shy of $460 without some help. What are you approved for? Easily $4,500 a month. Again, just because the bank says yes doesn't mean your bank account will agree when APS hits you with that summer bill. So the takeaway, lenders approve based on math. I want you to buy based on reality, the one where you still have money for tacos, trips, and those surprise repairs. All right, are you feeling discouraged? Please don't. This is where we get strategic. In Phoenix, you can often negotiate seller credits to buy down your interest rate, and builders and motivated sellers are handing out deals. Think rates in the 5% range instead of 6.8%. That could save you hundreds per month and bump up what you can afford without blowing your budget fully. So here's how to know exactly what you can afford. Here's your step-by-step. Figure out your net monthly income, multiply by 0.28 to 0.30 for a safe housing budget. Use a mortgage calculator, but make sure you're adding those property taxes, 0.52%, at $135 a month for insurance, at $125 for an HOA, add utilities about $260 a month, and don't forget PMI if you're FHA. Then adjust the home price until your total monthly cost fits your budget. If the numbers don't work out for that $460 home, that's your sign to either lower your price point or boost your savings. Look, I know buying a home in Phoenix right now feels like playing on hard mode, but with the right plan, it is possible to own a home and still afford tacos, AC, and the occasional weekend in Flagstaff. If you've got questions like where to find those builder deals or how to negotiate a rate buy down, go ahead and shoot me a text or email, or check out my free resources below. And if you want to know the actual process of buying your first home, be sure to check out this video next. Until next time.